genome, chromosomes, genes and DNA. By the end of this presentation you should have a good understanding of what these words mean and how they interact with each other. If we could zoom in to the microscopic world of the body to look at each individual cell structure that you have studied before, we know that almost every single cell in the body has a nucleus, apart from red blood cells. And it's within that nucleus contains the genome. The genome is the entire genetic makeup or instructions to form an organism. It's the instructions for what cells do, if we could zoom now into the nucleus to look at the genome, we might see many structures. This is what the genome could possibly look like. Tiny, linear pieces of genetic information, which we call chromosomes. This is where the genetic information is stored inside the nucleus, these structures. In humans, you would find 46 chromosomes. So all of the cells of your body, apart from red blood cells, which have no nuclei, and your sex cells, which has half the genetic information, all of the other cells of your body have 46 chromosomes, therefore contain your entire genome. Instructions to make your cells and you. What you're looking at now is a picture of real chromosomes. They have this X shape because this picture was taken just after these chromosomes had copied themselves before a cell was about to divide. Where these chromosomes originally came from is that you inherited, when you were a zygote, a fertilized egg, you inherited 23 from your mother and 23 from your father, so that you had 23 pairs totaling 46. So they come in pairs. And you're now looking at a picture of them arranged in their pairs. If you count them, you can see there are 23 pairs, but the final pair in the bottom right hand corner are not numbered. They are the sex chromosomes. They determine the gender of the person. In this instance, X and Y results in a male. A female, you'd have an X and an X chromosome, so you would not have a Y. So chromosomes are found inside the nucleus, and they are linear arrangements of genes. And all of your chromosomes together is what makes up your entire genome. But let's see what the chromosomes are now made of. So if we could zoom in on a chromosome, we would find a structure that looks twisted and seems to be twisted with two strands indicated by the yellow-grey ribbons. And in between there's these little bars represented by at least 4 different colours. This is DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. It's a polymer, which means it's a very large structure. Scientists estimate that in each of your nuclei there's about 2 meters in length of DNA, all tightly packaged in these chromosomes. So it's massive. So it's made of these two strands which are twisted round each other, and that has a technical name. Two strands, double, twisted means helix, so it's called a double helix. But what's important about it are the coloured bars that you can see in this picture. They are representing something that we call nucleotide bases. I'm going to deal more on those with another presentation, but for the moment please understand that this is the genetic code. It's the order or the sequence of these particular bases. If you count again how many different colours there are 4. It's because there are 4 different types of nucleotide bases. They have technical names: adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine. We generally use the first letter to represent each one. So A for adenine, T for thymine, C for cytosine, and G for guanine. In another presentation I'll deal a lot more with these 4 types of nucleotide base. But please understand that there's only 4 types, but in total there are many billions of these bases, and it's the order that they come in that determines the genetic code. So for example, moving from bottom up to the top on one side, starting with the pink nucleotide base, that would be a C, followed next to it by a T, which is green, followed next to it with a G, the yellow one, and then you can see, you can't see the other side, it looks pink there though, a C, followed by a T, followed by an A for adenine. So you can see how the nucleotide bases would be read in a genetic code. I will deal with that again in a separate presentation. So, your genetic code. Each gene is made up of sequences of these nucleotide bases, and in total, in the entire genome, is estimated there are 30,000 different genes. So why are genes so important? Because they determine the structure of every protein in your body, and it's the proteins that perform functions inside your cells and inside your body. For example, hormones, they're all proteins. Insulin is a hormone. You would not be able to control your blood sugar very well if you did not have the genetic code to make the protein insulin.